that can happen in the future. But for us, it was about, first of all, matching the Harambee Stars in the fight, in the running, in the work rate, because we know, look, this Harambee Stars team, I don't know that there's a team on the continent that works harder than the Harambee Stars. Even when it's 3-0 down, they're still running. They're not giving up, and that's huge credit to what the coaches are doing and just the character of the players. But for us, we first of all had to match them in that, and then gradually be patient on our quality to take over. And you saw that, we scored some really nice goals today. In the second half, look, it was probably harder than it needed to be at 3-0 at half time, but we knew Kenya would come out hard against us. We're disappointed to concede the goal. Obviously, we were waiting to make that substitution on the side to swap out the winger. Yankuba was, fatiguing a little bit, and yeah, look, 3-1, we're really pleased. To come away anywhere in Africa is incredibly hard to win and pick up points, and especially when you have a capacity crowd like today. So I think, look, it's a new team. If you look at the Gambia players who were in the lineup 18 months ago, 2 years ago, when they were at the AFCON, there's only maybe 2 or 3 of them still in the starting 11. There's a lot of young guys who were at the U20 World Cup a couple of years ago, and so they're maturing as a team, and that's what we said at halftime. We said, what type of team do we want to be? Do we want to be a team that can see out a strong position? And we showed that, so we're pleased. There's more to work on, but we're pleased.
Not the result we all hoped for at the end of 90 minutes. What didn't work out for the team today?
Yeah, no, of course, listen, learning experience for our boys today. Not what we expected, not what we wanted. But I think we never dropped our heads after you go 3-0 down in the first half. We kept fighting, we kept playing, but at this level, when you play and you make the mistakes that you make, that we did, you get punished. And when you have a Gambia squad where every outfield player and the bench that they have plays in Europe, it shows the level, the quality that they have. And we will have to learn if we want to find ourselves or see ourselves on that level, that at this stage, when you make the mistakes that we did, first goal, instead of trying to dribble out the back, you lose the ball, and then they get a corner, and from the corner, people just not picking up their men and allowing players to get free headers inside the box. Yeah, of course, the players that they have, they play in Europe, so they know about the levels here. So when you get the opportunities that they got, they take them. And for us, you go 1-0 down, and then again trying to play through the lines, and then just where the simple pass was to play outside and they intercept, and boom, you get yourself again 1 against 1. And Minte, he plays in the best league in the world, and you leave him 1 against 1. There's only one outcome going to be, and then 2-0 down, and then 3-0 down. Then it becomes really an uphill battle. But I think second half we made the changes. We brought in Alpha and Mansour because of the relationship that they had playing in the Chan, and I think they brought us a little bit more energy and more fight, and I think that's what people want to see. When you put on the national team jersey, people want to see fight, people want to see passion, and I think first half we kind of lacked a little bit of that, and then second half there was more energy to it, and we could have gotten probably more than 1 today, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. So but I'm pleased for the boys that made the step up to international level and see how physical and how fast and how quick the game is, and how you make one mistake, you get punished for it. So and I know from here onwards it's a learning curve, but it's a learning curve in the right direction.
I just want to ask about the fielding of Richard Odada. He has not been playing for his club, so I just want to know, starting him today, was it asking too much from him? Because, of course, there could be an issue with fitness and forms. He's not been playing for his club anyway. Thank you.
Listen, since I joined Richard, so I know what he brings. He had a spell in Dundee. I watched him a couple of times before Vojvodino in Serbia. So he's played there, and then obviously pre-season he's done with his club, which I know it's very physical. And I saw the news now that he got released, or he fought to get out of the situation that he was in, that the manager wasn't going to count on him. So listen, it was a gamble. It was a gamble from my part, but it's a player that I know the quality, the experience that he brings. He plays in Europe, and you saw the difference between the two squads. Their squad, everyone playing in Europe, and our squad having half that's local and half that's international, and there's just slightly a little bit of difference in quality between the two. So I thought, Richard would give us a little bit of that powerhouse that we kind of desperately need to compete at this level, and it just didn't work today. Him and Timothy Uma, I think, overcomplicated a little bit in the midfield, and just made some errors, and we paid the price as a team, but not regretting my decision at all.
Secondly, there were 2 goals that Kenya scored which were disallowed. What did you think of them, especially the first one?
Till now, I don't know. I think this is part and parcel of being a coach for Kenya national teams. You get goals disallowed, and you're not given any explanation. You just have to accept and move on. It happened in Chan, and it happened today as well. I thought it was clear-cut goals, but the referee and the assistant referee, the linesman, they saw different incidents, and they disallowed the goal. So you have to just continue to play on if things don't go the way you want them to, and if it goes against you. But listen, I'm proud of the team, for the performance, the resilience. They put up a fight, and we just came up short against a team that when you give them an opportunity, they stick it away.
We saw 2 different halves. The first half was for Gambia, the second half was for Kenya. But then after making the 2 changes, especially the midfield, the 2 players who play on international, Odada and Timothy Uma, but then you subbed in Alpha and Manzoor. We saw a very different tactical approach. Does it reflect or say something toward the next match?
Yeah, of course, because like I said, our chances of qualifying for the World Cup was pretty slim, but you don't want to go out in the fashion that we did today. In your first half, the game is kind of finished already. So I compliment the players for the effort, and for coming out second half and putting up a fight and taking the game to Gambia, because we were the better side second half, but unfortunately we didn't put the chances away that they had in the first half, in the second half, to kind of get closer or close the gap in the scoreline. But and I think like I said, the 2 players that came in the second half, they brought energy. They had they took the fight to Gambia, which for me going forward is great, because you can see now the players that played in the Chan, what confidence did to them, us going out there, and then you play the local players, and the level is just going up. So a lot positive to take from that, and having to assess the game again, and then see what changes can we bring for the next match on Tuesday against Seychelles, and hopefully it will be positive like the second half was for us. So, yeah.
And I just wanted to understand why perhaps it took time before the substitutes were brought in, because in the first half we were clearly struggling a bit.
I thought